Okay, so due to popular demand, I have finally watched Clone Wars Season 7. And yes, I know I hyped everybody up for Clone Wars in the past, so it should be a no-brainer that I watch this show without needing to be asked. But to be honest, my enthusiasm for this show has faded away slightly. I wanted Season 7 back before I knew what happened to Ahsoka and Maul and Rex. This season focuses on them, and it's hard to care when you know what happens to everybody in Rebels. One of the best things about Clone Wars was that it focused on characters whose fates were undecided. I remember watching the finale of Season 5 not knowing if Ahsoka would live or die, and that makes the stakes matter, and it makes it more exciting. The finale of this season revolves around our characters trying to survive a clone death trap during Order 66, and it's hard to give a fuck when you know that they're all gonna make it out okay. This whole season kinda feels like it just came a little too late for me, but that isn't to say I didn't enjoy any of it. First of all, the animation has leveled up substantially. The Clone Wars jankiness is completely gone. The updated character models and environments look better than anything in previous seasons, and way better than anything in Rebels. Also, the animation seemed to have been improved as well. The fight between Ahsoka and Maul notably looks really good, and I swear it looks like they got some detailed motion capture for once. They move smoother than any fight in the entire series. I don't know a lot about computer animation, so I'm just gonna say, it looks good. I like it. I also really liked how the last 4 episodes in this season were handled, but everybody's saying that. And that's also kinda why I have problems with this season. This season has a clear distinction between the first 2 arcs and the last. The first arc revolves around Rex and a bunch of wacky clones, and I honestly didn't really mind this arc, but it didn't really change my life or anything. It was cool to see the droids being a little more of a threat for once, but I feel like the payoff of Echo being alive kind of falls flat by the end of it. Like, the ultimate goal of this season is just to get us to the end of Revenge of the Sith, so why do I care if Echo found a squad of clones to hang out with for like the 2 weeks before they all turn evil and kill the Jedi? The second arc revolves around Ahsoka as she meets these sisters who get in trouble with a crime boss. And this arc is really fucking boring. We get 4 episodes devoted to this cliche subplot where Ahsoka has to hide the fact that she's a Jedi, or else these random girls won't be her friend. Oh no, I really don't care. I actually hate these episodes more now that I've seen the final arc. Like, this whole middle chunk of the season is so pointless. When people go back and rewatch this season, they are going to skip these episodes. Hell, they might even skip the first ones too. The problem is that the first 2 arcs just feel like standard, safe, by-the-books Clone Wars episodes. While I have been championing this show for years, I have been on record saying that not all Clone Wars episodes are created equally. Some of them suck really badly, and it's usually okay to skip those episodes. Clone Wars has a lot of filler. It's like 60% filler. Probably more, but I'm being generous right now. And if I had known about the difference in quality between the arcs in this season, I probably would have considered skipping the first 8 episodes altogether. But to be fair, this is mostly because of how good the last arc is. Yes, while I have spent most of this video complaining, I can't deny that the last arc is really rad. The last 4 episodes are everything that I wanted from Clone Wars. If you asked me years ago what my ideal finale for Clone Wars would have been, this would have been pretty close. The first episode in this arc establishes that we are officially in Revenge of the Sith territory. Once I saw that one blue girl on that leaf planet, I was like, oh, okay, so we're doing this shit. Even the title card is different. It's not the fun fanfare that we've had for the rest of the episodes. It's like dark and fucking miserable. From the first 2 seconds of the episode, it immediately feels like this arc is the entire reason for this season's existence. Getting to see Order 66 from Ahsoka's perspective is something I've always wanted. Maul acting like some sort of anti-villain and then having to escape Order 66 on his own without a lightsaber is something I never knew I wanted. He's basically this show's Vegeta in the last few episodes. And no, I will not elaborate on that. Seeing our heroes chase after him and then realizing that he knows what's gonna happen with Order 66 was so much fun. It's the only time in this season that I was thrown for a loop. And when you see Ahsoka actually listen to him, it's a good way to show the evolution of her character. She's not a Jedi or a Sith, so she's perfectly fine with listening to his perspective. On paper, I should love all of this, and for the most part, I did. These last 4 episodes are amazing, but there are still things that bother me. And I know that's gonna upset some of you. Oh look, Cosmonaut Marcus can't just enjoy something without complaining. Well, yeah, bro, I can't help it. There are a lot of people out there saying this season is amazing and perfect just because the last 4 episodes made up for it. Some of these people are probably the same ones who got mad that I called Ayla Secura that one blue girl a few minutes ago. By now, I hope I've proven that I am capable of loving Star Wars while also pointing out when it's stupid. And this season just overall bothers me in a lot of ways. The thing is, this season feels like it should have just come out before Rebels. And yes, I know, it couldn't have. It's not the way things panned out, and I accept that. But it does affect how I perceive this season. If this season came out right after season 5 way back in the day, this finale would have been 100 times better. But now, with it being released today, the last episode exists just to set up Rebels. And as I stated before, the stakes are reduced because of what happens in Rebels. And as many of you know, I don't like Rebels. So when I'm reminded that it exists, I admit it ruins my fun a little bit. I'm aware that this is mostly a personal issue, but it is really distracting. Back when I watched Clone Wars, Rebels wasn't a thing. I could watch it uninhibited. And you can't do that with this season. And I'm aware that all these episodes were planned a long time ago, which makes it even more annoying that the ending of the season and the series as a whole has basically been spoiled by other forms of media. It leads to this whole season feeling pretty predictable. There were very few moments in this season where I didn't know what was going to happen next. This is the first season finale that I can say that about in a long time. Once the last episode began, I realized that Ahsoka can't really interact with Anakin or Obi-Wan without messing up the events of Revenge of the Sith, so that means she's just gonna stay on the ship for the whole episode. Again, when you realize stuff like this, it kinda ruins the fun. But I do think part of that is also due to the fact that the other two arcs just aren't even on the same level at all. I have said many times before that I think less is more. I say that shit more than I say anything in any of my videos. If this season was just 4 episodes, nobody would have complained. There is not a single element from the first 8 episodes that changes my perspective on the last 4. They hardly matter. I would have much more appreciated if this season just got to the point right away. I would have really preferred just to be given 4 really good episodes and nothing else, as opposed to the 8 whatever episodes and then an amazing arc afterwards. The first 8 episodes in this season did not leave an impact on me at all, and that's contrasted with the last 4 episodes, which are some of my favorite Star Wars things I've ever seen. So if I was reviewing this season as a whole, I could not in good faith give it a great overall score. So for once, I'm gonna be fair and score each arc individually. First off, the Bad Batch arc gets a 6 out of 10. These episodes are fine. To me, this is your average Clone Wars arc. As I said though, I was disappointed that Echo's purpose in the group falls flat in the last episode. They act like he's gonna turn evil or cause some kind of trouble, but then it's never addressed again and it just existed to tease us. I think that's pretty dumb. That's really lame writing. Next up, the Martez sisters arc gets a 3 out of 10. I cannot state how much I did not enjoy these episodes. At no point was I enjoying myself. The sisters are both really annoying, the plot is so roundabout and poorly paced, and maybe I'm being too hard on it, but I really just did not like these episodes. I was just so bored while watching them, I have no desire to go back and watch them again. The whole arc would have just fit into 2 episodes, and the fact that they dragged it out to 4 just makes me hate it more. And finally, the last arc gets an 8 out of 10. This would have seriously been a 9 if these episodes came out when they were meant to. If the show hadn't gotten canceled all those years ago, it would have been the perfect finale. When Ahsoka and Rex are just barely escaping the wreckage in the last episode, I was really excited up until I realized, oh wait, no, they're gonna be okay. I forgot that they're just gonna make it out of this alive with no problems. It would have been so cool to see Rex, Ahsoka, and Maul return in future installments, even if I don't like the show that they return in. But my dream for this show was for it to end with Revenge of the Sith, and they gave me that. I could definitely see myself watching these episodes again, and I'm not someone who rewatches things unless I really like them. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm basically done with Star Wars reviews until something else comes out, which probably won't happen for a long time. I think I've reviewed just about everything, okay? So leave me alone. Wait, I forgot. Mandalorian gets a 10 out of 10. Okay, I'm done. Bye! Hey guys, thanks for watching the video, but it's time for some shameless plugs. This is a reminder that me and the other cosmonauts have a podcast where we play tabletop games. People always ask why I never plug this show, and I don't have a reason. I just always forget. It's called Cosmonaut Tabletop, and you can find it on Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes. We play Dungeons & Dragons as well as the Star Wars Edge of the Empire system, so if you like Star Wars, you should go ahead and listen to that. We also stream some one-shots on Twitch at twitch.tv/CosmonautVarietyHour. Anyway, that is all I have to say. Thanks for watching the video. Bye-bye!